Hello, Plannerettes. Happy Saturday evening here in Sydney, Australia, wherever you are in the world. I hope you are having at least a little bit of a break, enjoying your day, night as you walk into the weekend ahead. Well, I am here. Who doesn't love an impromptu live? I do because I need to go and set up my June monthly cover page. So here we are. This is my printable download for June. It is a freebie if you sign up to my email newsletter, and you will also get many other freebies as well. So if you wanted to collect the monthly cover pages from January to May, it's also available there, and many more. So now, if you are here with me in the live chat, say hello, keep me company. I know it is a bit of an impromptu for a lot of my plannerets, regular plannerets. They're probably still all asleep. So please keep me company and say hello. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I am, for June, moving into my A5 planner. So this one is the Filofax Camden organizer in the color olive, and so it's quite the ring mechanism is 30 millimeters, so it's nice and thick. And if you wanted to use my affiliate code for Filofax websites for the US, UK, and European site, you can check the description below, and you can get up to 30% off the personalization station that they have, and 10% off leather items. So for June, I am moving into my Ultimate Planner Bundle printable. So the monthly cover page is a freebie, so it's separate, but if you wanted to have your own and create your own embellishment, the front page is a dotted grid, so it helps you align any artistic flair that you might have there. Hello, Charlotte, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. What time is it where you are today? So it is 9:18 p.m. on a Saturday evening here. So I thought, you know what? I woke up from my nap at around about 6. I had dinner. I scrolled a little bit on my phone, and I thought, hey, tomorrow's June and I'm yet to embellish my monthly cover page. So I think my most recent live stream, I did my calendar. So I finished it off screen, off camera. I put all my dates, all the important things like my Monday YouTube live stream, school stuff, write the newsletter, and any bills coming out. Also on the left-hand side here, I've just put in things that I would like to focus on for the month of June, like working out, maybe send a note to or a letter to a friend, and also make sure to schedule in a movie date with my older son who is 17. So I want to make sure I pop that in the calendar, so I'll have a chat with him and find out what day he is available, because man, 17-year-olds are busy. They're like working, they've got school, they got all their friends. It's now I have to ask his schedule and say, hey, when are you free so mum and dad can go out and you can look after your brother for a couple of hours? So I need to make sure I go and talk to him and schedule. So Charlotte says it's 12:19 here in the UK. That's afternoon. Is it afternoon? Let me know, because if it's in the evening, should be asleep, but I can't talk. I'm always up at 1 a.m. anyway. Thank you for joining me. And also I just added all my habits that I want to achieve for the month of June. So these are all, it includes habits in areas that matter most, but also things that I already do. I use the habits and routines that I already do throughout the day to help anchor, or what they call habit stacking. So if there's a habit that you have that you want to be more effective in or get better at, link it or stack it with a habit you're already doing. Like if in the morning you have a glass of water, Maybe you can also take 5 deep breaths, or if you're making your coffee, you can do your stretches. So that's a good thing of stacking your habits. Yes, it's the afternoon. Well, hopefully you are having a great, so Saturday afternoon, I'm assuming. So hopefully you can have a little bit of time with me today. And so, and then what I did also on my habit tracker, just so then I can break up the month, I just did these little dash lines, so then I know when the beginning of each week start. And then that way later when I review my habit tracker, I can see patterns. Now I know from the top of my head from doing habit tracking since 2017 in this fashion that I'm really good at my habits. The first week of the month, second, yes, okay. The third week, ooh, not so much. And then the fourth or final week of the month, I try and get myself back in there and try and action a lot of my habits. So I know that's the way my habits and routines go, which is I want to of course get better and be more consistent, but that is really a great way for you to see patterns when you track something. So I've got that. And then the other one is I have changed this side. So normally this would be mood and sleep trackers. So there's my mood. I have a color code that I like to do. So green is good or great. Orange is good. Yellow is kind of a day. Blue is when I'm tense or anxious, and pink is when I'm sad or angry. Again, a great way for me to track my mood. And so when I know, same thing again, normally in the past it would the blues and the reds. So when my mood tend to go down is when it would be, it would correlate or correspond with my cycle of the month. But now that I'm sort of going through perimenopause, it's not as regular anymore. So it's more important now for me to go and track my mood to make sure that, okay, I know this time, maybe the second week of the month, I normally get anxious, or I normally, feel overwhelmed or doubtful. So I need to make sure that I am even more intentional with planning my day, or making sure I am looking after myself by planning self-care. So that is the reason why you would want to be tracking your mood. And then that way you go, okay, historically on the third week, or even like the last few days of the week, I get really low, my mood, my energy level is not as high. So then I'm going to be kind and give myself a little bit of grace and not put too much on my to-do list and not put too much on my plate, and making sure I'm looking after myself. So that is why tracking habits, your mood, sleep, or steps, for me, the step count, because I am a content creator, I'm sitting at my desk all the time, and I'm not one of these that are really big on getting outside and into nature. I enjoy the comfort of my couch and the comfort of my phone and the comfort of my camera. And so I have been neglecting getting outside. I do have a walking pad, but even that has not now have laundry on it. So June, I need to make sure, because a couple of months back, I had my blood test and my vitamin D. There was a low scale, and mine was lower than the low. And so that, of course, affects your mood. So getting outside, getting my step count is one of the top priorities I have for the month of June. Okay, so now going back, as the name suggests for this live stream, I want to embellish my monthly cover page to ensure that it looks pretty. I can leave it at that, and that would be fine too, especially for those of you that's why I provided this, is so then it's just sort of like a dashboard. It's if you archive a lot of your previous planner pages, it signifies, okay, these pages, this is the start of June. So if you don't have time to create your own monthly cover page, that is why I provide it. But you can also embellish it to make it very pretty. Charlotte says, I'm thinking of getting the habit tracker for my personal size because I'm finding I don't reach for the A5 at the moment. Yeah, so that's what I did as well. I don't know if I have, double check, Charlotte, if I should have the habit tracker printable on its own. Without it being part of the planner bundle. And so, of course, here this last week, I haven't been actioning my habits because I've been focusing on a little project. So, for the founding members launch of a new membership I'm creating. So, I'm okay that I haven't filled that in because something else took of a higher priority. So, for me, Charlotte, I do take my my personal size also as, I just want to make sure I don't have any numbers as my wallet. So I do take mine out a lot as well. And sometimes, you know, if you don't have, now I don't know if you're able to find this anywhere, but even little, so this post-it note, you know, is a habit tracker. So I think I bought it from a Japanese stationery store called Morning Glory. But if you look up on, you know, Amazon or wherever you are, just have a look, or just create little boxes of on a post-it note of a little habit tracker. I think I have a habit tracker post-it note you can print on a 3x3 in the shop. And that could be just as simple if you know you open something regularly and just put on there, you know, drink water. So have a look. Remember, depending on the lifestyle, the time, you know, all the things you're doing at the moment, if you're not reaching out for the current planner system or size that you have, you can change it up. And so you'll see me halfway through, I might not be using my A5. So I'm going to make sure, okay, I'm not tracking it. What else can I do? So it's okay to change things up along the way, or if you're finding certain trackers system is not working for you in that season. Okay, so great, a great insight there, Charlotte. So I love that these are the things that we start to recognize ourselves. You know, it's like, hey, that's not working. How can I change it so then I am able to, I'm just going to pop this back, I am able to make sure I track things. And you know what, I've changed trackers along like halfway through the month, and I'll, you know, half of it will be blank, and I'm fine with that. Or if you wanted, you can just make little, you know, cross off the boxes, so then you know, hey, that's okay, that's not filled. It just means I started something new, or the system. Okay, so for the monthly cover page, I did say I wanted to do some, I'm just trying to see where I put it, or some watercoloring. And I did practice some of my watercoloring yesterday as part of my self-care, and I'm quite proud of what I did here. I love this one here. So this is a watercolor paper, and the way I did this, I was just following instructions from a watercoloring book. I painted on the paper dry. So there's actually different techniques that you can watercolor straight on the paper if it's dry, or you can wet the paper beforehand, and then that will create more of a you know, subdued or fainter colors. So here I had lots of paint. I didn't dilute the watercolor paint with enough water, and so of course it's a lot brighter. So this is some really good practices, and I don't know if my techniques of applying the paint on the with the brush on the paper was right, but I was just, one of the things now that I learned from an artist, I took a free, you know, drawing workshop, is instead of trying to draw a flower, draw shapes. So if you see a triangle, draw a triangle. So then that's what I was sort of doing. It's like, well, that's a little bit of a, you know, or that's a teardrop. So draw shapes rather than trying to draw the actual object, and it'll be much easier for you to do it. So yeah, the watercolor looks pretty. So I want to maybe practice a little bit more, and then take take the Plannerettes along with me on whether a live stream, just so then as part of my self-care. It was really good and really, really therapeutic. And so and I was learning something new at the same time, and I've surprised myself that, hey, I know now I can do this type of flower. I don't know what the flower is, and all it is a lot of these is just, it's 5 petals, right? So just have 5 petals, 5 petals. I think that's lavender, and then I even practiced some hand lettering there. But for today, because it is logistically on my desk here, if I did have all my paraphernalias of, a cup with the water, my watercolor paint, and the book or that I'm referencing at, it was just too much, and I need to just do something simple. And I always say do the bare minimum. And so I have been taken inspiration by the washi tape here, which I used for my June calendar. So I embellished the top there and the bottom, and then also just a little bit on here on the habit tracker. Now, unfortunately, I do not have enough. I was going to line up the bottom here and the top there just to continue the theme, but that's it. That's all I have. And so it doesn't even fit, doesn't even have enough for the bottom. But I'll hold on to it, because what you can always do is not for this page, but if you have any washi tape that have like little graphics or little illustrations on it, just cut around the image that's on it. So if you don't have enough to line up, and then what you can do is use that. So that's like little stickers that you can put. Actually, I'm going to not waste that. Oh no, now stuck on there. Okay, maybe I can put that on here. Look. So I might cut all these flowers individually and then pop them on my habit tracker. So I will do that if we have time. Hello, Cindy. Nice to see you. Hi, Marianne and Plannerettes. Thank you for joining me for the lovely, you guys know, I try and catch a moment where either my boys are watching their iPad or their movie in their room, and it's quiet here because my current setup here is actually part of an open space, and we only live in a small flat. So I have my little desks here. We've got the dining table in the middle, and on the other side of the wall is our homeschooling space. So everybody, and the kitchen is really just probably 5 meters away, and so it gets quite noisy. Galina, hello, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And is this your first time? Yes. Woohoo! Thank you. I appreciate you. Welcome to my channel, and amongst our friends we call the Plannerettes. So thank you so much. Okay, so what I'm going to do for my June cover page, I'm here going, Marianne, when's she going to get to the June cover page? But you know me, I like to explain things along the way, because you never know who's going to be in the live chat or watching the video, and might be that one line or one sentence I say might be the trigger that helps spark the idea. So I try to give as much value as I can. And so, because these are the things that help me so much, in my own planning, and in giving myself that little bit of compassion and grace. So, June monthly cover page. Please, if you haven't yet signed up to my email newsletter, do so, because then you will get a welcome email to let you know that you can get this as a free printable amongst many other freebies because I want you to win and, you know, try out to see, hey, is Marianne's Planner printables, you know, something that I would be useful? But there's lots of freebies you can try in there. So, okay, so instead of the washi tape, which I've run out of, I'm going to use Tombow jewel markers, and I am using the colors 993 and 673. So continue the theme of this washi tape, so that goes perfectly. And I'm going to create little, are these daisies? I think so, daisies. But what I'll do is I'm going to use the brush tip marker, because these are double-ended, by the way. Second time in, okay. Second time at your live. Last time was the leaf thing with the marker a few months ago. Always seem to miss your lives. Yes, my lives normally would be like 5 a.m. So different times. So Saturday normally is 9:36 p.m. now. He's Saturday in Sydney. Normally I'm, you know, either asleep, or if we lucky enough, my husband and I are out having dinner while the older son's looking after the boys. But I appreciate you being here, and still, welcome. Your lovely, beautiful avatar there deserves a nice welcome too. So I'm going to use the brush tip end. And so essentially what I'm going to do, I'm going to show it sideways. Instead of having my marker at this angle, okay, I'm going to try and flatten it against the page. So I'm going to utilize the whole the surface of all of the brush marker. So then it creates, so see, this is how I'm holding it, okay, on the side, nearly like probably at a 5 or 10 degree angle. And I'm going to create, oops, some washi tape on my fingers. I'm going to create little petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm probably going to use the other color to have, anyone who's knows a little bit more about flowers, what's the middle part again? Not the petal, tell me, please. All right, so the other color, and then I'm going to use the other color to do the others. All right, and it doesn't have to be precise. It can just be the best you can, and then I'm going to just sprinkle them all on the page. So to save me from having to move the camera, I'm going to move the paper and have my hand at an angle. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. And then just go and cover your page with these little flowers. And then you can have only, you know, you can use it sparingly, or you can cover the whole thing. And tell me, what is this type of activity? It's a mindfulness activity. Okay, so of course, if I wasn't, you know, talking at the same time and I'm doing this, you can even put a lovely music in the background. Well, let me see if I can put a lovely music in the background. Let me see, let's just make sure it's not like poof. Okay, and just, you know, if you can, try to make sure not to do anything else, and having to think up of where to place these little flowers on your page. You're focusing in the moment, and hopefully you're just giving yourself that little bit of time for yourself, and just focusing on the activity at hand. Is that enough of the purple? Let's have a look. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Zig Clean color dot marker for the middle part. Okay, Now you can use multiple colors if you like. So whatever theme you have going, coordinate your marker and then just sprinkle these lovely tiny little flowers on your page. So it's a nice and easy way to embellish your planner cover page. Okay, so if you don't have a cover page, instead of a washi, washi tape up here, you can use these. And that's it. It's just so simple. And if you if you were like me, who at the beginning of this little journey of me trying to be creative, have that negative self-talk that you don't know how to draw, you're not artistic, or you're not creative, there's no excuse, because all you're doing, okay, is using the tip of any brush marker, and instead of having it at a top angle like that, just flatten the brush against the paper. So literally you're pressing the whole side of your brush marker on the paper, and you're creating these either petal or teardrops, and just put 5 clustered together. And so I'm going to use the Ziegling color dot marker in the purple. So this one is color. It does have colors on here. Hyacinth. Can you see? Hyacinth. Okay. And then I'm just putting that in the middle of the yellow flowers. Okay. I think I can go for some more. I can fill this up even more. Maybe now. Here's the thing: the amount of pressure you put on the page, then of course the bigger the marking. But if you want tiny little ones, just use tiny little pressure, or very soft light pressure. Look at that. Look how cute and tiny it is. Oh, look, that even goes well with my nail polish. Okay, so then if you feel like, maybe the same size flower is too much, then just be very light-handed with your pressure of the marker, and then you can create tiny little flowers. Look how cute that looks. So very light. So yeah, you can change up the pressure to create different size flowers on your page. It's looking pretty already, didn't it? Remember at the beginning that was all just blank, nothing. I think I know for me, I can get carried away. You know how when you're like you're doing something, especially let's say artistic stuff, and you add something extra and you go, I pushed it too far, it was fine as is. So I have to have make sure I look at it and then go, no, that's enough, that looks good, Marianne. Because sometimes I'll add something extra and then I'll make a mistake or something. But so let's put one more here. So normally I would be moving the paper around, so it's easier for me. So then all my angle is at this my hand is like this, and I'd move the paper around. But to ensure not to dizzy up my my viewers, because I know sometimes I like to watch videos at times 2 speed. imagine time 2 speed, and all you're thinking is like, paper moving around. Oh, that could be like give you motion sickness. Oops. And don't neglect the side of the page. Okay, so you can use whatever colors you like. I think if Galena is still here with that leaf thing, was a similar effect with the brush colored brush tip pens. Hello, Marielle, nice to see you. How are you? Are you good? Hope you've been well. So yes, today I'm just embellishing my June monthly cover page. And so in case Mariella or anybody else just tuning in didn't know, you can get this June monthly cover page as a freebie when you sign up to my email newsletter. Let me see if I can pop it. Do I have it in there? Where do I know? Newsletter. I think I popped that in there. That's the one. There's the link for you. So if you do that, you'll get a welcome email that has this June plus all the other monthly cover pages up until from January. So January to June, you have that. I think that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. And then just on the all those other spare ones, I'm just going to use my dot marker just to balance out any negative space. So again, depending on the pressure that you apply on the page with a dot marker, I'm just doing light ones because I don't want big dots. So it's just very lightly popping them on the page. And then the yellow one. Okay. Dot, dot, dot. So then it sort of balances. Oh, that looks so pretty. See? I didn't know that like yellow and purple go so well. I'm doing great. I've been celebrating my university graduation. Congratulations. All right, wait, hang on. Let me see if I can go and make sure I give you a congratulatory. Hang on, let me see. Will this work? Yay! Happy graduation, Marielle. Woohoo! And another one. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Hey! Well done. What a wonderful win. Oh, that is so exciting. I think it was yesterday I was talking about how, you know, with university and everything I got into, after high school, I got into the, yes, that's right, a big congratulations. Whoop, 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 party, party, party poppers. I got into Sydney University for economics degree, and then 2 years in, discovered some new friends, discovered the pub, or you know, the drinking life. I was never a drinker when I was in high school. Well, shouldn't have been a drinker in high school, but you know, I was a goody two shoes in high school and everything else. So yay, thank you, Marianne. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well deserved. Well deserved. Congratulations. Okay, now I didn't know. I want to color in June. I'm going to make sure I'm not stuck to my desk. So bear with me. I'm going to see if I can find my eraser. No, not eraser, sharpener. And then I'm going to go, there's my sharpener. I'm going to see if I can find my colored pencil. I think I did this in one of May, maybe the May. So I've got my colored pencil. I've got my sharpener because I'm going to color in the block of block letters. So let's see. So maybe this purple, whoops, this purple, and maybe this yellow. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some shading. I'm going to see first if this purple and yellow are the right ones. So you just get your sharpener, take off the lid, and then let me see if there's a different paper. Okay, here we go. And then you're just going to sharpen the colored pencil as finely as you can. Okay, so just really, you're just using, letting the blade of the sharpener create these tiny little shavings for you. Hello, Damas. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Welcome, welcome. Yay! I put the yay very softly because of the music. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here. So we're just embellishing my monthly cover page. And okay, I can't sharpen and have it at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to see if this is a nice right shade. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so then we can see it a bit closer. And so very lightly with your finger, so you don't want to press too hard. So as you can see, there's the pencil shavings, okay, very fine shavings, and just slightly move it around the page. So if you don't want to use like markers, because then markers might be too harsh of a color next to these very light colorings, I think that's a good purple. Yeah. That matches beautifully with that. So let's continue. Now the only thing is, be careful if you have any light colored clothing. You don't want to be, if you have you know, stained your fingertip, not to touch any white t-shirts, or if you have any whatchamacallit, let me go there, any light colored clothing. Okay, so I'm just going to do some more shaving, make sure I am focused. There we go. All right, so let's do this. Now be very careful when you are shaving or sharpening the pencil, that if you do get any bigger pieces when you are you know, rubbing the color onto the page, so any big pieces of these shavings, it might create lines. So you know, it might create a little bit of line like that. See, so if you don't want that, remove it. So okay, I think I'm going to do, pardon me, I'm going to do J and N, and then do U and E in yellow. Okay, so just slightly inside the block. Now if the color is too light, you can go over it again. And now look, that has created a very nice subtle coloring, and that's all you want. Now I used to do this type of cover page for my exercise books in high school. So you know, if it's a science book, or it's my maths book, or my arts book, and I still remember one of my favorites. See, there's a big piece there. I'm going to take that off. One of my favorite hand lettering font was a bubble font, and so so this is how, you know, this brings me back to my high school years, embellishing my cover pages. So there you go. So just grab any old pencil. Doesn't have to be the fancy one. Can just be, if you've got your kids' school pencil case handy, just do some shavings. So just do a test like I did on another piece of paper to make sure you like the color and the shade. Okay, this will probably even work if the font is, you know, like a more of a delicate font. So of course this font here, the block lettering, is, you know, nice and straight and very structured. Oh, look at that. Okay, so see, now make sure, because if you have pencil shaving, what can I'm going to, you can't see it, but I'm going to wipe it away with the inside of my hem. My pants is black, colored black, so the inside of the hem, I'm just wiping that color, and I'm going to see if I can go and pop the shaving straight in the bin, so then that way it doesn't stain anything else that I have on the page. Uh, let's have a look. Charlotte says, I remember when you did this before. It's such a good idea to bring subtle color. Yeah, I think, did I do this one for May or April or May? So now let's try the yellow and just make sure your eraser, I keep saying eraser, your sharpener doesn't have any other color from, especially if it's a darker one. So maybe, here's a tip, maybe start with the lighter color so then it doesn't. Okay, so it's a little bit harder for me to shave this one because and I can already see some big pieces. So I have to shave off some of that wood. Okay, let's just grab our tweezers and get any of the wood pieces out. And if there's any big piece on there as well that might create lines or, come on. These precision tweezers come in handy. Yeah, so it's just from, you know, a couple of dollars from the beauty aisle. Okay, so now let's pop our yellow onto the page. And any of these bigger, I'm just trying to feel which ones. I think that one's a bigger piece. Let's get rid of that. That's a bigger piece. Okay, let's try it now with the yellow. Maybe I'll just use the middle finger now, so then just in case I don't want to mix any of the previous color. Oh, look at that. Can't wait to zoom out and see how it all looks. Okay, so if you've run out of time, you don't have to have a cover page, but it's just a nice one too, especially if you've got a few different months in your planner, to just separate them. And again, just this, if I was doing this on my own, and you can, if you wanted to, you can watch a favorite TV show while you're doing it. It doesn't require much brain power, so it's not as if it's, you have to have much focus. But it's a wonderful way, for you to just really take time for yourself. Do something that's going to bring you joy, that's going to create that tiny little win in your day that'll make you happy and make you smile. And if you're having it tough at the moment, sometimes it's hard to see the good things, and this is not going to solve the problem, but what it will do is it's going to signal to your brain that, hey, you're taking time for yourself, which means you're putting yourself as a priority, and it's going to start recognizing that. Your brain is going to start saying, you know what, she took some time for herself. That must be important. And plus she enjoyed it. And the brain, you know what the brain does? I'm going to go wipe this off on my pants again. You know what the brain does? The brain goes, I like that. Let's do that again. So if you're new to self-care, not as in, you don't know what it is, but you haven't taken the time for a long, long while to take breaks because you might be busy, you might think you're going to fall behind, you don't have the time, I'll rest when I'm exhausted, right? What that's signaling is everybody else's agenda is more important than yours. Hey, they might be, but what will happen is you start to neglect yourself, and then you start to go, well, what I think doesn't matter, when in actual fact it does. It matters more than anything, because you know what will happen with work. If you're sick and you don't show up, they'll just get someone else to do your work, right? Or if you think that, oh, of course, it's easy to say that, oh, Marianne, it's easy to take a break and all that stuff. For you got, you might have supportive people. But it also signals to others that go, oh, she didn't say yes to everything that I asked. Then you're creating boundaries, you know. All right, let's have a look. Let's zoom out. Right, that was all plain old June without all of that stuff. Then that carries over, these colorings carry over to this washi tape that I used for my June calendar. Okay, doop, doop. Ooh, pretty. And then, like I said, the rest of the washi tape that didn't fit, I'm going to go and cut these tiny little flowers individually and just cut around them, you know, cut as close to it as you can. You don't have to cut, you know, precisely around each and every petal. That's the effect. You know how like when you're cutting out letters, what do they call them? The ransom notes. You know how the ransom notes and all the little magazine letters? That's that effect. And let's put that maybe here. Okay, let's get another one. Let's get a yellow one. So if you have any washi tape about that has individual images on it, cut them out individually and just cut around them and then use them as stickers. Okay, so it's good to be creative like that. Where shall we put that? Let's put that, I'm running out of room here. Let's put that there. Okay, so then waste not, want not. Because I know, and oh, who else feels good when you end a washi tape, a roll of washi tape? Because if you're like me, who buys washi tape each time I see a new one at the shops, or if I see someone else have it on their planner page and you go, ooh, let's have a look at that. Then let's pop that maybe here at the bottom here. Okay, let's keep going. So now I have that. Are these daisies? Would we call these daisies? Whatever type of flowers these are. I have this theme continuing from my monthly cover page to the top of my calendar. Let's pop that here. Oh, there you go. There's the last. I think I can get 2 more from this roll of washi. I can get 2 more. Okay, so if you're here in the chat, say hello. And of course, for those of you who are going to be waking up a little bit later on in a few hours, hello. Make sure you say hello in the comment section. And of course, if you are liking this, hey, why not tap it? Tap that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do. Now, pardon the hair here. I did try and put some dried shampoo to get rid of the bit of the oiliness. I think only thing with my having a fringe or bangs is because I do get oily skin. My forehead can get quite oily, and then so that's my fringe. So then, and I'm wearing, I don't know if anyone saw, I'm wearing an Ecamm t-shirt, so not a sponsored video, but I won this Ecamm fam t-shirt from one of their their YouTube live streams that they run every week. So Ecamm is the software that I run my live stream on. So if you're a YouTuber or even an Instagrammer, or you know, if you're on TikTok and you want to go live and you have a Mac, so it is only the software is for Mac users. So prior to November, I was a PC girl, so I used a different streaming platform, and then I upgraded my computer. Well, technically, where can I pop this? Let me pop that here. My oldest son needed a new laptop for school because he's the one we bought him when he first went into high school in year 7, so that would have been 5 years ago he needed that replaced. So I had a laptop that I sort of wasn't using, and I went, you can have mum's laptop, my computer I'll give to dad, and then me can get the brand new Mac. Woohoo! Win-win for everybody. And and so then it was time, my other subscription for the other live streaming platform or software was coming up, and I went, okay, let's try Ecamm. And it's actually one of the best moves I made, because not only do I have the Ecamm software for to go live and also to record my videos, but the community is just like fabulous. Because what do they say? They say surround yourself, right? Or one of the what do they say? A lot of people can tell a lot about you by the company you keep, right? So the 5 most closest people around you can give an indication. So if you want to be in a room of, say, naysayers, then you're going to be a naysayer. Or if you're in a room of people who are always, actioning, get up and go and doing it anyway, even if it's messy, or if they fail, then you're more inspired to do it as well. So the Ecamm community has been really one of the things that's helped me get out of the funk that I can sometimes get into when it comes to content creation, because it's just try it. What will happen? And so and speaking of, I guess this is a little good segue for those of you. I am going to create a new membership. I'm calling the Plannerettes Inner Circle. So it's going to be a paid membership that I'm creating in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm actually inviting, so this is a little segue to help get you some invitations. I'm inviting some of you as a founding member to help me create and build it. So I have a lot of ideas, but my ideas may not resonate with you as my community. So I want to get the best insight, the best feedback, the best ideas to create a membership that will serve us all together. So, because I was thinking at first, let's create a membership, let's have this, let's have this, let's have that. But for a lot of us who are already overwhelmed, stressed, and have so much on our to-do list, more doesn't necessarily mean helpful, right? All we need sometimes, like I was saying with the community portion, is having people there that inspire you, that go, I'm not alone, I'm not the only one struggling, and maybe if someone else can do it, then maybe I can do it too. So I'm only opening it up. I think I've got 2 days left for it to open. So it's at a founding members rate. So this is $9 US per month. So once it's launched in, once it's created in 4 to 6 weeks time, it's going to be at a higher price. And then if you are a founding member, you can help shape it. So, which is really good. I'll pop the link if you are interested in looking at it. So a lot of the regular plannerettes are already in there, and I'm looking forward to getting together. And, while we are creating it, we're also going to be there for each other and supporting each other. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I am feeling, doubtful, stressed, just knowing someone else is there, and just a quick hi or hello, or what would you do in this instance, or I had a great idea, and someone sort of, recognizes your effort, is I think it's one of the best things ever, rather than a lot of, of course there'll be perks like, exclusive printables, workshops. I've got so many ideas. And again, that's where I need help in figuring out what would be the best. Because what I think would be best, someone else might go, well, yeah, maybe not, Marianne. So I need a pool of like-minded women who are, confident normally in a lot of the times, but somehow, somewhere along the way, we question ourselves, why do we do this? Like, if push comes to shove, I know that we can make a decision like that. Here's a little story when that I know that I can do things when I have to, right? Is 2019, my younger son, who's 16 now, but back then he was in a school system that had in a support class. So he is high functioning, mild autism, and he was having lots of challenging behaviors. You know, my husband, I was working full time, and my husband was the one doing the school runs and doing part-time work at home. And he would call up and say, you know, just to let you know, nothing's bad that's happened, but I've got called in at school. I have to take him home because he's destroyed the library, or he might have hit another child. So, and then I wanted to make sure that I was helping the school and figure out the best way to help my son. And so, you know, I went in there. I asked my work, can I please I want to take the week off to help my son. So I went into the school each and every day to make sure, okay, you know, do you have this? Because the teacher that he had was new to teaching a support class. So, you know, I said, do you have visuals? You know, children on the autism, some of the children on the autism spectrum work really well with visuals and routines. And it was just, it wasn't the right environment for my son. And so we made the decision then and there that, like, when I, you know, drove him home, when we went home together, was I can't have him there again, because I could just see the struggle that he was going through. And so, you know, I said, okay, we're going to homeschool him. And in that moment, I was scared, you know, can I do it? Am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? Who am I to take my child out of a school where there's experts and learned teachers and support workers? But I just knew in my heart that it was the right thing to do. But I was just so scared driving home. What am I like? Where do I start? And then when we were driving at a highway, suddenly these cop cars were passing by, cop motorcycle was passing by, so there was quite a few of them, and you know, the sirens were blaring, and so trying to see ahead. And so the traffic ahead was at a stoplight, and the police cars were in the middle of the intersection. And then I'm going, what's going on? And then I see this man with no shirt on running in the middle of the road, and you know, the police were, you know, trying to not to get to him right away to see the situation, and he was sort of like running towards my side of the road, and I'm like gone and done the you know, locked all the car doors, and I just like sat that in that moment, like my mama bear mode like went into gear, and I went, all right, there is no time to doubt yourself, Marianne. You know, you can do this. Whatever is going to happen, you can do this. And so in the end, they got him way before that he got to our car. And then in that moment, so I always refer to that moment that I know I can do it. I know I have the courage. I know I have the confidence. I know I have the willpower to be able to do the things I need to do when push comes to shove. But not every day is a life-threatening moment like that, right? It's not a push that comes to shove moment. So then my overwhelm and my anxious thoughts a lot of the times can creep in and can stay there for a little bit longer. And without a community and without the kind words and support of others like you, who have been so wonderfully supportive and encouraging just here on YouTube, on Instagram, in my Plannerettes community, that is the essence that makes me go, okay, let's try this another day. Let's start again. Let's start from today. Don't worry about the things we didn't do yesterday. Don't worry about it. But it needs to be a consistent, constant thing that I have to have that in order for me to not sink back to the low moments and the low thoughts and the overwhelms and the procrastination and the imposter syndrome and the comparison and all these things that we women, I don't know, in our age groups, our 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, suddenly we're trying to juggle so many different things at the same time that we just go, why can't I do this? Why can't I make a decision? Why is it so hard for me to figure out what to do? Why is this thing on my list moved from day? I have had this task to do from 3 weeks ago and yet I haven't done it. And you know what it is? It's because we haven't put ourselves on top of that list. We haven't taken care of ourselves. We think, okay, all right, I was able to fix things here and there. But it's the importance of being intentional, of looking after ourselves, surrounding ourselves with like-minded people that may also be going through the same thing. But you know that, what do they say? If you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? You need to be in a room with either people that can help pull you up or push you over that wall, that barrier that we might be going through. So that is what I envision for my the Plannerettes Inner Circle, and I just need some like-minded people who are willing to give the time for feedback and insight and a little bit of get together. Which one's better? What do we think of this outlay? What do we think, what would be helpful for others who might be going through? They might want to go, hey, let's create a page for meal planning, or let's create a page for doctor visits, or whatever it is. I'm not versed in all of those different things because, of course, for me here, my husband does the grocery shopping and is the cook of the house. So for me, meal planning pages, so I need the pool of knowledge from other founding members, and so that's where I'm really wanting to get more of us into this and just and have fun at the same time. So if you've ever enjoyed any of my live streams, if you've ever enjoyed any of my printables or any of my posts and gotten value, then check it out and just see. It might not be for you at the moment. Maybe you don't have time to give feedback, but if you want a community that does what we do here and be more insightful than when it is launched in a few weeks time or next month, then you can join then. But if you want to take advantage of the Perk being a founding member and get in at the lowest monthly rate it will ever be, and then who knows, we might build this into a big community later down the track. That's what I envision, is later down the track we have lots and lots of members, lots of different perks, workshops and everything else. And who knows, maybe $47 a month, $97 a month. I don't know. That is what my vision is. But by getting in at this rate now, you're locked in for life at that rate, as long as you are a good standing member of the community. So check it out. No pressure. If you want to turn up later on, of course, most welcome, but do check out. The link is in the chat and I have also put it in the description below. So let's quickly have a look at the planner pages for June, starting for me in just under 2 hours. It'll be June 1st. So there's my June monthly cover page. The color's a little bit more subdued. It matches nicely with the washi tape that I had added to the top here. And then also my habit tracker is ready to go. So in the morning, glass of water, do my stretch, meditate, tidy up a little bit, upload a content either on Instagram or on YouTube, do my 5 minutes walking pad because I want to try and get my step counts up for June and add more movement into my day, especially if I am going to be working on creating the Plannerettes Inner Circle. I'm going to be at my desk a lot of the time, so I need to make sure that I am getting myself outside, getting movement. I'm taking the pill. Now here, the Pomodoro focus time. So that's a 2-hour block of work, whatever work I've assigned for myself for the day. So that's 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes of work, and then a 15 to half-hour break. So it's a Pomodoro technique, is working at a 25-minute interval because that's long enough for you to focus on the task at hand without you, getting bored or distracted and keep that 5 minutes. So I will make sure to put a link in the description. I did a Pomodoro work with me, or if you need a working buddy to just help you focus on the task, that is in the, I'll pop that in the link in the description. And then I have Connect, so whether I'm, you know, FaceTiming my mum and dad, connecting with my brother, sister-in-law, niece and nephew, or, you know, friends, and DM them. Get outside again, try and do that before the sun goes down. Do some reading and learning to make sure I'm keeping my mind active. Do a workout, time with husband, whether we're watching a movie, playing our Scrabble, or just, you know, being in the same room sitting with each other. Check my planner to make sure I have action as much as I can, or plan for the next day. Do a gratitude log, a victory log, and then just note down, you know, my sales to help see patterns of how my planner printables are going. And then the other side is my mood and sleep tracker. So again, I'll be able to track in the month, you know, is there a pattern? Do I get tense or low after a particular, or that a particular time of the month, or after a particular event, or maybe if after, you know, if I've been hanging around with certain people, is my mood uplifted or is it, you know, brought down? So that's a really good way for you to track your moods. And then that's where I'm going to do my step count. Now for my Monday live stream, the normal live stream is when I will set up my well-being planner spread. So we'll go through that. So normally for the month of every Monday for me here in Australia, Sydney, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 5 a.m. So the first week I'll do well-being. I'll set that up and how I use that in my planning. Second week, I show you how I set up my weekly planner spread. And then the following week, I do a mid-month check-in, see how I'm going with my goals that I have set for myself at the beginning of the month. So I'll probably do that, you know, Tuesday, so not part of the regular live stream. And then I'll go show you how I plan on a daily basis in my daily planner. And then at the end of the month, again, we look at end of month reflection, and then plan for the new month ahead. So if you have liked this video on live stream, make sure to hit that like button. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do. And I would love for you to just check out, no obligation to join, but try and join now if you've been thinking about being part of a community that loves planning, Plannerettes, but more so really being intentional with our self-care and well-being. So then we are not just putting out fires when they come up. We are going to be able to have a success path or a journey, those little stepping stones that I always talk about. So then if and when the time comes that you are not managing yourself really well and you're like, you have the tools and resources to go, all right, spotting the pattern, feeling anxious and tense today, what do I need to do? That's right, I've got to do this. And that's where you'll be able to find in the Plannerettes Inner Circle that will be launched hopefully in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But if you want to be part of this creation, building it, go and check out the link right now. So I appreciate you so much. I will see you on my Monday, your Sunday for regular live streaming. Bye everybody. Bye-bye.